What is up, y'all? For today's video, I'm going to be reacting to an episode of Kaiju number 8. We get introduced to Kafka, who's part of the cleanup crew after the defense force takes down the Kaiju, and he wanted to be part of the defense force, but he ended up failing. But they did end up raising the age limit for those who want to join the defense force. But here's the thing. At the end of the episode, Kafka ends up becoming a Kaiju. He's not as big as like the regular Kaijus that we've seen in the first episode, but he's still a Kaiju. And the thing is, I feel like he definitely should still try out to become part of the defense force, because if he does and he makes it, they would end up having a Kaiju on their side. But again, they would probably have to keep it secret, or would they be like kind of out in the open where they're like, yeah, we have a Kaiju on our side, you know, he's just a dude that can turn into one. But either way, if Kafka does end up joining the defense force and making it, it would be a pretty big perk for them to have him on their squad, since he is part Kaiju now. So I'm very excited to see how this episode goes. But before I get started with the reaction, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos just like this. So let's jump right in and see what Kaiju number 8 has in store for us. Oh, is this how they're gonna meet up? Because she said there's a Kaiju at the hospital. Kafka was at the hospital and he's the Kaiju. So like, is this how they're gonna end up like kind of like encountering each other again while Kafka's a Kaiju? Yo, that is terrifying. They're gonna give this old man a heart attack. They're gonna kill him by just scaring him. Yo, the strength that he has, he just gently touched the wall and it obliterated it. Yo, the strength, like his strength is already like insane. Yo, he needs to learn how to control his strength. He needs to learn how to control that. What is going on? What? Wait, what is it? Like, yeah, is this like a new, like a special form for... What is going on with this? Yo, this is crazy. His Kaiju form is insane. He's like, dude, he is all over the place. He is like, which makes sense because he just turned into a Kaiju, and now they're running from the defense force. So it makes sense like why his mind is all over the place. Is he peeing from his nipples? Yo, he's peeing from his nipples. That was crazy. No, he has to join the defense force. Like, once he learns on how to control, like, switching from this form to his human form, if he can do that, and he joins the defense force, he would be an absolute menace. He still thinks about, that's what he's thinking about right now. Like, yeah, it's just like you know, catch up to her, but like at the same time, he's still thinking about her though. Oh, he senses something. Yo, his senses have been heightened like while he's in his Kaiju form. Now, is he sensing a Kaiju? He's sensing a Kaiju. Oh, we're gonna see a Kaiju battle. We're gonna see a Kaiju battle with Kafka versus another Kaiju. Oh, this is gonna be crazy. This is gonna be crazy. What if this is how he proves himself to be able to join the defense force? He takes on this Kaiju while the defense force, like, you know, is already on their way. He beats it, and they see that he beats it, and then he turns into human again, and then they're just like, yo, you should join the defense force. I feel like that's gonna be the way he ends up joining. Okay, someone's gotta save them. I feel so bad for this little girl. Someone's gotta save them. Okay, I thought the Kaiju was leaving. I thought the Kaiju wanted nothing to do with them. Oh, either Kafka has to show up, or, you know, Division 3 has to show up. Someone has to show up. There's no, like, they have to, like, save this little child. Oh, he does. Yo. The strength. That was just one hit, and he sends that thing flying. Yo, Kafka's a monster. He's a literal monster, but he's also metaphorically a monster. No, don't do that. Don't do that. You're gonna give her a heart attack too. Don't go doing that. Oh, let him do his business. Let him handle this. He's a Kaiju. He can do this. Yo, that energy. The energy is insane, dude. This is gonna be a good one. This is gonna be a good hit. Oh, that looked beautiful. Yo, he obliterated that. He obliterated that Kaiju. Yo, he is a monster. He is a monster. Oh, that was cold. That was cold. Like, the fact that, like, he not only, like, you know, he charged up to punch that Kaiju and just obliterated it, but it seems like there's like some like electricity with it. So I wonder if that's like like another like it's like that's part of like an effect with his like kaiju form. Like not only is it like, you know, he has a strength of a kaiju, but like he has like a special ability, and that's probably like electricity, or like that could be part of it. But either way, that was insane. That looks so beautiful. He just obliterated that kaiju like it was nothing. He was charging up and did an uppercut. Oh my gosh. Kafka as the kaiju, he is insane. So like when it comes to combat, it seems like he kind of like has a hang of it a little bit, which is pretty sick. I love that even though she's like afraid of him, especially like for the fact that he's a kaiju, but also he's like covered in that other kaiju's blood, she still shows gratitude for like saving her and her mom. So in a way, like Kafka is like getting closer to his dream of being able to protect people and, you know, take down kaijus, but it's just he's just gonna be going kind of like a different route a little bit. Yo, he needs to join the defense force. He needs to do it, because again, they would be a complete unit with a kaiju on their side. Oh, he's turning back. Oh, okay, just slightly, but like either he's getting the hang of it. Like I feel like it might have to do with like his form kind of like has to do with emotion, you know. Like I feel like I don't actually know. I don't know. Like once he learns on how to like change from human to kaiju and back to human, once he's able to like, you know, alter, like, you know, change his form, he's gonna be an absolute unit. But you can't wipe out Kafka, because that's your homie. That is your childhood friend. Now, is she gonna talk about how like there was another kaiju that ended up helping them? Oh yeah, she's mentioning the good kaiju, the one that ended up saving them. Now, is she gonna believe her? Because like she probably doesn't know that there are like good kaijus. Well, like so far there's been like one good kaiju, but then like a bad kaiju. So that's why it's called number 8, because he's the 8th kaiju to show up. That's why it's called Kaiju number 8. It all makes sense. Is it like their applications for like the defense force? Yeah. Again, Kafka, he needs to be able to pass this, because he would be a real big like asset to the defense force. Okay, so he got in. So does that mean Kafka got in too? Like hopefully they both end up managing to get in. Oh, is he gonna look at Kafka's? Oh, he's gonna be looking at Kafka. Oh, he got in. You got like, yeah, for sure he got in. It looked like he looked at Kafka's. Yeah, he passed. Yo, they're both about to. Why is he in that form? Why is he in that form now, bro? Oh my god. But yeah, they're both like one step closer to becoming part of the defense force. So he's managing to be able to like to go to kaiju in human form. It seems like he's managing quite a bit. In just a short amount of time too. Oh, I thought he'd be way more hyped about passing. I'm surprised he's like, you know, pretty nonchalant. Oh, it's because the second round is where he fails. So that's why he's like, yeah, the first round's not that bad. Yo, he keeps slipping up. But again, you gotta like give him props for being able to like, you know, go to kaiju or go to human form to kaiju form, you know, keep going back and forth to it in such a short amount of time too. So you gotta give him props for that. So I wonder if he worked on his combat abilities, like not just like working on like, you know, shifting from human to kaiju, but if he worked on his combat abilities, because if he did, he would definitely be in a more absolute unit. So like it seems like it might like do with like emotion or stress. Like that's why he keeps like, you know, being able to change to a kaiju and changing back. So I wonder if like the second round is more of like a combat type of situation, like where you have to like, you know, kind of like be out in the field, you know, like using weapons and everything, you know, like taking down like practice kaijus. So he really has to be on his toes and not slip up and accidentally turn into a kaiju while all of those guys are around. Yo, who is this child? Calling Kafka an old man. She doesn't know who he is. She doesn't know that he's part kaiju. Yo, he is so triggered being called an old man, even though he's only 32. He's so triggered. He is so hurt. No, like for real, she is a brat. But like, I wonder like if she has that cocky attitude because she's actually like competent. I feel like she kind of gives off like that vibe a little bit. Whoa. Why is her suit glowing? Yo, is she about to lift his truck? Is she about... So that suit gives her like superhuman strength? I don't know if that's cheating, but I don't think it is. Like, I get like that's just like part of her arsenal probably. Yo, that's insane. That is absolutely insane, but hella disrespectful. Her hobby is murdering kaijus. That's kind of weird if that's your hobby. Like I know like the whole job of the defense force is killing kaijus, but she's saying like it's her hobby. Like she does this on like a random Tuesday afternoon where like she sees a kaiju is like, oh, dead. Like kind of weird, giving like serial killer vibes. She smells kaiju on him. Either she's just saying that or like she has like a way to like, you know, sense kaiju, just like how Kafka was able to sense the other kaiju. I wonder if she has like she can tell the smell of a kaiju versus like the smell of a regular human. Now they could like Kafka could just play this off and be like, well, yeah, I smell like a kaiju, you know, I worked with the cleanup crew and everything, so that's probably why. But I don't know, she seems a little too suspicious. You know, it seems like she might suspect him to be part kaiju somehow. I don't know how she would come to that conclusion, but I don't know. Anything's possible. But wow, this episode, this was glorious. The action with this episode, insane. We get to see Kafka actually fight a kaiju while he's in his kaiju form, and it was beautiful. It was glorious. He was insane. He two hits and that thing was done. The first one was just to get that kaiju away from the little girl and her mom, and the second one was just to obliterate it. Like he was charging up. He charged up for that attack, did that giant uppercut, and that kaiju just exploded. Oh, that was beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful. And I like how we kind of like find out like why this series is called Kaiju number 8. It's because Kafka, you know, he's a kaiju and he's the 8th kaiju. I think they were saying like he was the 8th kaiju to show up. So being like, so they kind of marked him as, you know, Kaiju number 8. So that's why the series is called the Kaiju number 8. That's big brain plays. What's also nice is that Kafka and Ichiwabe, they ended up passing the first round of the, you know, the selection exam for the defense force. Now they're on to the second part. And it was funny how like Kafka, you know, he was like, oh, it's cool. You know, I passed the first round. And, you know, I thought he would be more hyped about passing it, but it turns out it's because the second round is where he always fails. And so that's where Kafka and Ichiwabe are at right now. They're about to take their second, like the second round of the selection exams. And this is where we get to meet another examinee. What was her name? Like Kikuaru Shinomaya or something like that. Like I think it was like Shinomaya. You know, she's like kind of like, you know, this bratty, like arrogant little girl, but like she has this suit that gives her superhuman strength, and she throws Kafka's car like it's nothing, or like the company's car, but like, you know, she throws it out of his parking spot because number 55 is like her lucky number. And so even though she's arrogant, she kind of seems confident at the same time. But not only that, she says her hobby is killing kaijus, and that's kind of a weird thing to say. I get it, like, you know, being in the defense force, you're kind of like killing kaijus to protect the city and everything, but that at the same time, that also does give kind of like serial killer vibes. So, you know, she's someone to like, you know, kind of like keep your distance from, but also keep your eye out on, because again, serial killer vibes. But also she ends up smelling Kafka, and she says that she smells kaiju on him. So either she realizes, like, either she's smelling, you know, Kafka being a part kaiju, or it's probably just from his job. Either way, kind of crazy that she got one of those things right about Kafka. But yeah, Kafka and Ichiwabe, you know, one step closer of achieving their dreams of becoming part of the defense force. And, you know, again, like I think Kafka definitely should be able to pass because of his kaiju abilities. But if this second round is more of like a combat type of like exam, he probably has to hide his like abilities of being a kaiju and everything, and make sure he doesn't slip up, because if he does, he's probably gonna get like executed right away by a bunch of like, you know, like I guess like what we saw, like army men, or like you know, some members of the defense force. So, you know, if he does slip up and shows off that he's a kaiju, he is gonna die right on the spot. But either way, this was just an insane episode. Again, the action with this episode was just so beautiful. It looks so clean. I absolutely love this episode. But I pretty much got nothing else to say, so I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for my other reactions, also for my discussion videos. So if you're into any of those, definitely subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment, you know, the whole thing. So with all that being said, again, thank you all for watching. Until next time, see ya.